a good book and read together. If my husband were here, he would have testified to you that the very first gift he received from me was a good book. Yes. And the title of that book by Tim LaHaye is The Beauty of Sexual Love.
Mama.
I read somewhere that only about 25% of women get sexual fulfillment, real sexual fulfillment, only by this. And why do you make me do this? I can't do this.
Mama said I can't do this. This is funny.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, the long-awaited video is here. This video is rated PG-18. Viewers' discretion is advised, okay? This video is gonna be very serious. Go grab your cup of water, popcorn, juice, something, cup of tea, whatever you need, to focus on this video, because it's a very, very important video and highly requested. So today I have again my mother, Reverend Dr. Beatrice Tembi, and she's gonna teach us about sexual abuse in marriage. Woohoo! That is juicy. So welcome, Mama.
Thank you, and authentic.
There you go.
It's a privilege to be here with you.
Privileged to have you. Privileged to have you, Mama. So, Mama, I want to know, why do us women not give in? Because in my own understanding, before a man gets to that point of, forcefully and making it almost a habit, you love your husband and you married him. So why do you get to that point where you trigger him to forcefully take it?
I think, actually, I tell men when I'm maybe teaching in a conference or a marriage seminar, I tell men that don't think that your wives are usually less sexually oriented than you. No, don't think so. It's just that a woman or a mother is usually a very, very, should I say, busy person. And I don't know whether it's our culture. We don't put sex at the forefront of our lives. We don't even think about it most of the time. Most of the time, a woman is preoccupied with so many other things, and it occupies her mind. And do you know that a woman usually lives a few hours ahead of her time? I tell the men, a woman doesn't live in the moment. For example, you can be on the bed, maybe 8, 9, 10. You say, okay, let's go to bed. You go at that moment. The man is thinking of having his wife, intimacy with his wife. He's living in that moment, and they are on bed. Before you know it, the woman may skip out of bed and go to the kitchen, go to the refrigerator, maybe open up the refrigerator and take out maybe some frozen chicken or something and keep out to thaw, because she's thinking of tomorrow morning. Oh, I have to do this. Oh my God, I had to do this for tomorrow. Should I just do it now, or I should wait for tomorrow?
Can relate somewhat.
Yeah. So she's not living. You are living for that time. Her mind is somewhere else.
Exactly.
So right now she comes back to bed. She's no longer in the mood. Her mind is somewhere else. It's not that she doesn't want to. If the men can just understand the women, help them, ask them 1 or 2 questions about the next day. And you people arrange everything. Don't go rush up to bed and be waiting for her. She may come after 2 hours. One man told me, is it a man or a woman? A woman. Her husband, when the husband goes to bed and is waiting for her, he falls asleep. She comes, tiptoe and come and sleep just at one side, not to disturb him.
Where?
Because she needs to sleep.
Where?
Because she's tired. Then the man now discovered it and started sleeping across the bed. So that when she, when she will want to shift him, he will get up. Why go to bed before her? Why don't you help her? So find out from the woman what's her problem. She too is a sexual person, a sexual being. If she keeps saying no, maybe it's fear of pregnancy. Where I come from, it's not everybody who knows about birth control. So teach her, take her, go to the clinic, do some birth control, something, let her be relaxed. Let her not keep saying, but the baby is not grown up yet. I don't want another pregnancy, all of that. So I think that will help. If the women have issues, let the husband try to see that these issues are solved.
This is so important, especially for those who are not in the West. You have just pointed another thing: pregnancy. You know, some men just don't think about it. they just want to do things.
Or they think about it when it's not yet. You know, that there comes a point in time when the man is just, look, I'm ready for this. I don't think about any other thing.
Exactly. Whatever happens, we deal with it. And that's not how a woman operates.
No, we don't operate that way. And one last thing, Annie, I think the husbands have to find out if the wives are having the sexual fulfillment that they are entitled to. You know, because many women tell me or complain that they feel that they are being used. The husband is just using them for his purpose. The husband doesn't care whether they are having the sexual fulfillment that they are supposed to have, that they are entitled to have. So why should I keep giving you myself for your pleasure and I cannot have that pleasure? You don't make sure that I have the pleasure that I'm supposed to have. It's just that, you know, this is the air, so I can't tell you so many things. And so,
I mean, like, okay, just give us a little more, just a little bit.
When I was a girl,
okay,
one lady told me, I was living with her, and she complained to me. All the girls living in that house knew that her husband was always complaining. There was always quarreling coming out of their bedroom, and we knew that she was refusing to give the husband what he wanted on bed. So one day she told me that the problem is, and she confided in me, that whenever she has a sexual relationship with her husband, she comes out of the whole thing feeling so unsatisfied. And she told me that the feeling will remain in her body for about 2 days. The feeling of wanting to have more will remain. In fact, she expressed it to me, and I didn't understand at that time, that it will remain in her body for about 2 days before that feeling of wanting to have more will ease away. And that because of that, she doesn't want to keep feeling that all the time. So she says no.
That is sad. Oh Lord, if I understand this point, sometimes women refuse just because they don't get the satisfaction they need. So I do think you have more, Mama. Based on what you have been telling us, there should be more to this point you just made. Throw more light on it.
No, you know, some things are better read than heard.
Better read than heard.
It's better reading in a book than hearing.
Mama is old school. She doesn't know how to vocalize it.
Certain things. That's it. So I don't go and read. But when I was doing my research, because I do a lot of reading and research, and this question that you just asked, that why do women, want to be cajoled, to be begged, and to be forced?
Right.
It is a universal question. It looks like men everywhere ask that question. But what is wrong with my wife? Why must I plead and beg and ask? And so I've done some research, and this the last point I just gave, that find out whether she's having the satisfaction she's supposed to have. I read somewhere that only about, and should I really be saying things like this?
Mama, you'll be shocked how many people can relate to this.
I read somewhere that only about 25% of women get sexual fulfillment, real sexual fulfillment, only by this. And why do you make me do this? I can't do this.
Mama said I can't do this. This is funny.
Okay. So as I was saying, there's something that are better read than heard. That you better read it yourself than hearing somebody say it, because first of all, the person will be saying it in an embarrassed way.
Exactly.
She will be embarrassed, and that person is me, and you will be embarrassed because I'm embarrassed. But I have a book here which I wrote. She knows about it, this is, I don't know, Help, I'm a Husband.
Help, I'm a Husband.
Of course, I wrote the book Help, I'm a Wife, and the wife said, but why don't you write to our husband? So this is a sequel to that book. And this issue of sex, I discussed it in this book, not even in the wife's book, the husband's book. And there's something I've made research. This guy called Michael Castleman, MA, made a research and said only 25% of women are consistently orgasmic during vaginal intercourse. So, as I told you, you need to read it yourself. Only 25% of women get sexual fulfillment by the normal act, put it that way. So if you think, so your wife may be among the 75 who need something more than just the man entering into her. You understand? So find out what your wife needs and don't be shy to give her what she wants.
And don't feel bad when she says she needs more.
Although the men will really want you to say you need more. Okay, so I think we can go now to solutions. Maybe.
Exactly. We have to go to solutions because at the end of the day, that's a big one.
So I think the first solution I have here is get a good book and read together.
Okay.
Yes. Get a good book and read together. If my husband were here, he would have testified to you that the very first gift he received from me was a good book. Yes. And the title of that book by Tim LaHaye is The Beauty of Sexual Love.
Mama. Oh my goodness.
So I gave him the book. We were still unmarried, but I read a lot. So I read the book to prepare myself for marriage, and it was such a good book, and I handed it to him as a gift. So why don't you read? Why don't you learn things? If you can't read, or you don't have the time, listen to
audiobooks.
Her audiobooks and
my channel, my
channel,
videos.
yeah, and so that's the first solution. A second one is have a good conversation. Don't be shy. Talk with your wife. Talk with your husband. Tell him what you want. Tell her what you want, how you want it, and where you want it. And please talk. And then, please, I also want to warn here. It is not every time that somebody doesn't want to have sex that the partner is abusing. No, far from it. Somebody can think that, I don't want to, I'm not ready, and then you want to, so you're abusing me. No.
That's a strong one.
Yes, no. It's not just abuse. We must recognize the fact that people have different sex demands or needs or so. So don't just think that maybe your husband you're too much, you're abusing me. No. I read an article by Kevin Thompson. He says there are 3 kinds of sex. Maybe if you just go to the internet, Google three kinds of sex, you come up, by Kevin Thompson. There he says you can have what we call spontaneous sex. That is, you didn't plan it. It just happens. All of you are ready. Maybe you are just ready. I'm smiling because I know what I'm smiling about.
Okay. Okay.
Spontaneous. She didn't plan it. Maybe she just came in to where you are to get something, and you were. Maybe you were working, you just saw her,
Jesus.
something happened,
Jesus.
or was about to.
Oh, Lord. I'm crapping this thing off.
Okay, so you can have spontaneous. Nobody planned it, it happened. Good. And then, on the other hand, you can have scheduled. You schedule it, you plan it. Maybe you go out on a date or something, you just plan it. Good. And then the last one, he says, is maintenance sex. That is, you may not be in the mood, but you know that what he wants to. I mean, what, don't you want to give pleasure to your husband? You love him, don't you? Or don't you want to give pleasure to your wife? You love her, don't you? So you may be tired, you may not be in the mood, but you need to maintain that relationship. So he calls that maintenance sex. So it's not everybody that have to be on the same level of demand. No. So don't say they are abusing you because he's always wanting to have sex. No, just talk about it. I mean, relax. Didn't you sign for this? You didn't you? When you were getting married, what were you thinking? So
I have a question for you though.
okay.
What if one person is always like ready for it and the other person doesn't match up? So does the other person who is always wanting it do they need to like regulate their longing for it so that it's not, or do you who doesn't want it have to, you know?
I think that should be the one. Nobody should be regulating. If you're a married man, what are you wait, I mean, what are you you make me laugh, Annie, but listen, you guys, maybe people don't know the importance of sex in marriage. It's super important. So yeah, of course, self-control is fruit of the spirit, I know. But don't go. I don't want to advise that somebody should be asking the partner to regulate their desire for sex, because it's so important, especially now that people are young. They are, please maximize this time. As a young couple, don't smile and don't laugh. Maximize it, because it's not all the time when you will be able to. There's this midlife crisis of certain, ED. ED, go and find out. I will not say what ED is. Capital E and capital D. Find out. There's a time coming when you may not be able to have as much sex as you want, especially the ladies. You are telling me, oh, I'm tired. A time is coming when you may want what you want and you will not be that easy again, because the guy has already reached a midlife crisis also. So please don't tell anybody to do what?
Drop down their
No,
desire.
I will not advise that. You are smiling. Smile.
This topic is interesting.
Arrange yourself and have as much sex as possible. That's my advice.
See, if I don't stop Mama, she will go overboard. We have heard, Mama. Thank you so much for this video. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you learned from it just as I did. And see you in my next video. If you have any question, just leave it in the comment section. We're gonna read, and Mama is gonna answer your questions as best as she can. So thank you so much for watching. God bless you. Bye bye.
Bless you. Bless.